Shana Tova, everyone. I hope you had a wonderful Rosh Hashanah and uplifting beginning to the new year. Over here it was beautiful and was very, very special, being the first place in the world to blow the shofar and start the new year and announce to the world Hashem Hu HaMelech. It was really just something else. Really, people were standing outside of the shul. It was so full. It was really, really just beautiful. We are in the first Shabbat of the year, Shabbat Parashat Vayelech, and this Shabbat, like a few other Shabbatot during the year, has a special name to this Shabbat. The Shabbat between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur is known as Shabbat Shuvah. Shabbat Shuvah means to return, the Shabbat that we are returning to Hashem and restarting that beautiful relationship that we may have lost along our way to an extent. And we are we're focusing on this tshuva, the returning. The question is, what are we returning to? Who are we returning to? How do we return? All of these questions of understanding who are we and what is a Baal tshuva, a person who does tshuva. And for a very long time, the way that Jews thought of a Baal Tshuva, if you think about when you heard the words of Baal Tshuva, you're thinking of a person, most likely someone who was very not religious, had very little affiliation with religion, did not keep Torah and mitzvot, and then decided, I want to do tshuva, and decided to grow a beard and peot, and put on a kippah and tzitzit, started keeping Shabbos to the fullest extent, and started keeping kosher with only the best kashrut, and does everything to that amazing extent, and that is a Baal tshuva, someone who has turned their life around completely. Now, while that is an understanding of a Baal Tshuva, the question is, what am I returning to? I am returning to Hashem. I am renewing my relationship with Hashem. In my relationship, my original relationship, when I was connected to Hashem in such a deep way, was I doing mitzvot? Or was this when I was just a spiritual being even before I was born? When I was just a neshama? Because that's what needs to return. My neshama needs to return to Hashem. So is that what I'm talking about? I'm returning my neshama getting closer to Hashem. And in that case, maybe we're not talking about mitzvot. Mitzvot are tools to achieve that. But the returning is a relationship. I'm returning to that relationship. This morning, I was listening to an interview on the Israeli news by a mother who was telling a story about her 16-year-old daughter from Tel Aviv, extremely secular, who has been going to slichot every morning and has been waking up extra early to go to slichot and is going to Torah classes and is wearing a skirt once a week. And she asked her daughter, semi-fearingly, my daughter is going to become religious. She won't eat at my house anymore. We're going to start having to do things differently because of her. It's going to break up the family, which is something that has concerned a lot of secular Jews for a long time, is God forbid my kid will become religious because that's a very different lifestyle than I have chosen. And her daughter responded to her. She said, Ima, we're a generation of thirsty neshamas. Her mother said, wow, that's a beautiful way of putting it. She said, yeah, that's from a song of Ben Sur. Ben Sur, an Israeli musician, singer, who is not very religious in the way he looks. He doesn't have a kippah. He has tattoos. He wears tzitzit for some of his shows. And in his song that came out about a month ago, he sings about how there's a generation that is waking up and saying, we need real answers. We are in pursuit of truth. There is something going on in the world, and we feel it inside. Over a third of the Israeli population has become more religious, more connected. And in his song, he emphasizes this, and he says, there are, I wear tzitzit, but not a kippah, right? There's Jewish girls who put on a skirt once a week. They try to, for Shabbat or for a shiur, to go to listen to a Torah class. Everybody is doing their thing. And this generation, this young generation, has spent the last 2 years in a war, the years beforehand in a plague, and beforehand they were children. And now they're waking up and going, we need answers. The world is chaotic. The world has no rules to it. Where are the rules? Who governs the world? What is going on with life? And that is the questions. They say, you know what? I want to go back to Hashem. I would like to have that relationship again. I would like to connect myself. Am I going to become fully religious? In my own way. This is a complete new understanding of tshuva. But we're in these beautiful days leading up to Mashiach coming. We've got a generation that feels it. The world feels that there's changes that are happening. Something incredible is happening in this world. And we're waking up to it, and we're starting to see what is happening over here. And people are saying, I need to know more. Our neshama is thirsty. I want to have a connection. What can I do? Here is my connection. I will start wearing tzitzit. That's a mitzvah. I want to wear tzitzit because it is a shield for a soldier that is fighting the war. I want to wear a skirt. The girls are saying for tzniut, for modesty, to protect the hostages that are being held captive. And everybody is finding their ways to connect and their mitzvahs. And from this, we are getting to a very special generation. And Bezrat Hashem, going from Rosh Hashanah, where we are reinstating our relationship with Hashem, to the day of Yom Kippur, where we'll be standing in front of Him and have to say, what have we done this year? We as a nation get to say, Abba, look at us. At least a third, have made a change, wanting to come back, wanting to have a relationship. Isn't that something amazing? And I would like to be in those percentages, the percentages that are getting closer. Bezrat Hashem, we should all be zocheh to put ourselves with these people who say, I would like a relationship with Hashem. Shana Tova, Shabbat Shalom.